CapeCast. So, Mac, the lobster dinner is probably the trophy dinner of a Cape Cod vacation, but it can be intimidating. That's a red bug on your plate. If you don't know what you're getting into, there could be trouble.
There could be trouble. There is a psychology to it. There is an approach, and you have to be ready to go back to that sort of primal instinct. Take that thing and just rip right into it, and don't be afraid. But essentially, the first step is to take the claws and the tails off of the main part of the body. The major splatter tends to occur when they're taking the body and the tail and they're trying to rip it apart, because you've got the tamale, which you know about tamale. It can just go flying. It's not for the timid, but it can be broken down into a simple process, step by step.
And the reward, of course, is what?
The succulent meat. You just can't beat it. First thing I like to do is I like to take my claws off. And when I take my claws off, I don't like to break it up here. I like to break it right out of the body, because there's meat. There's meat in every little nook and cranny of this lovely lady. All right, so here we go. This is a big move. This is where most of the lobster tamale flying will occur. People tend to just take it and bend. And you can see if you bend too fast, it's going to snap. You ready for it?
No.
All right, I'm going to go slow. I'm going to go slow.
Right, all right. Let's do it right.
All right, so look at that. See how it just breaks apart? This is a very important, critical step. Take the palm of your hand, wrap it around, and you got to listen for this crunch. Oh, we had a little juice fly in there. All right, that crunch just cracked the shell and separated the meat. Now I'm going to flip it over, and if you can see how I'm sort of holding it like this, now I'm going to rip it right apart. Okay? You hear it? So let me do that again. Look at that. Okay, now what we've done, we separated the meat from the shell. I'm going to reach in with my fingers, and now I'm just going to gently pull it out, and voila. Don't throw your tail away yet, because in the little flippers here is meat. And this is actually where I like to start on my lobster. You asked where the best meat is. This is some of the best meat right there. My next step is to take the claws apart. And what I do, you can see this is how it was on the lobster. I flip it over and I reverse break it. And you'll feel it when you have a lobster. You'll know it goes one way or the other. It won't break that way, but it really snaps easily that way. And then I do the same thing with the claw. And I'll tell you, these lobsters that we get, they're local lobsters. They're from Provincetown to Wellfleet on the backshore. These are some of the hardest lobsters that you're going to find. They're packed full of meat, which is beautiful. So this shell is actually a little bit intimidating. And what normally you'd have at a table is this. But since this is not going to cut it, what we do on a lobster like this is we'll actually crack this for the customer before we serve it. And the way we do that is there's a point. If you hit it just right and then you bend the knife, you can actually serve it so it's still intact.
Oh, wow.
And when it gets to the table, they'll pick it up and they'll go, oh, all I got to do is just, break it off like that. And it basically comes right out. And this right here, that's my favorite part. But right here, look at that meat. Is your mouth not watering right now?
It is watering,
right.
man. I don't know. I feel like some cave dude has got to get some of that.
Yeah, you do. You just got to eat a piece. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't even have any butter on it.
No, you don't need butter.
Isn't that just fantastic? Oh, it's indescribable. It's rich, it's salty, but it's sweet. It's creamy, but it's soft.
When lobster's good, it's great.
Yeah, right. This meat right here they call it the knuckle meat. This is some of the best meat. And again, you need to find the way that it bends backwards on itself. And I like to break that apart. And basically, then I take the small end. Like you can just get your pinky in there usually, and you'll feel if you push it sort of from all sides, it'll come out in one piece. See, just sort of falls right out, and that's great meat right there too. That's great meat right there. I think I'm gonna have to eat that piece. So we've gotten the bulk of the meat out, the claws and the tail, the knuckle meat. You know, those are the sort of the easier things to get at. Now we're going to start breaking down the rest of the body. First thing to do, grab the body on the bottom and the top, and just gently lift, and it'll peel right off. See that? It sort of peels right apart. Now all of that right there is edible.
It looks kind of funky, man.
It looks kind of funky, but you know, we did our tamale exploration, and some people love tamale, absolutely love it. I think it's a little rich for my taste, but you know, like I said, to each his own. The lobster has a center line going down it, and we're gonna take our fingers on either side, and we're just gonna split it right in half. Okay? And what we've done is we've really made it easy to get at those little morsels. So now what I have is I have half of the body, and you know, this is magic right here, Eric. Watch this. Watch this. This is all meat. All of this is succulent morsels of meat. And you know, there's meat all the way down into the bottom.
You can actually suck the legs,
yeah,
right? Like,
right. A lot of people, they'll
really getting down to it.
Right, they'll go like this. They'll take that first section off, and you just break it off and put your teeth at the bottom.
Yeah.
It looks sort of disorganized, but hopefully if you followed it step by step, you can really understand that it's a process of breaking it down from larger parts to smaller parts, and in between, you know, don't forget to eat it.
CapeCast.